Good day, you beautiful brave hearts. I'm Dr. Darryl Wolfe, and today we're going to talk about a very important subject. How about this? Surgery creates cripples. And you know what? I should not be allowed to say that, and somebody should be challenging me on this. I mean, there's like every physician and surgeon must go up like this and go, what is he talking about? Is he crazy? Well, understand something. You know what? Everything should be challenged. I should be challenged, and you should challenge what I have to say too. You need to understand something, that as long as you believe that there's an authority over you, then you are going to be ruled, schooled, and fooled. And yes, you will be having lots of drugs and surgery in your life. And understand something right now. It doesn't matter whether or not you think you need surgery. Before you do surgery, it should be your last option. You should be doing Wolfe Non-Surgical and cell sonic regeneration, and I will give you a money-back guarantee that we will wow you that your body is the miracle, okay? That what we do, okay, we will turn it around. But you want to go get surgery? You need to really think about this, because surgery causes more surgery. Look at the domino effect of surgery is called dehumanizing. Okay, it's not a condition, it's an actual program. Understand, it's so sad, okay, that we don't come together as a family and strategize like these psychos have, that have been programming people that want to get into the health business and be healers or be physicians or be medical doctors. And then guess what? They've been ruled, schooled, and fooled, and we are paying the price. All right, so let me just say this, everyone, okay? You need to get this. Your body, okay, is made mainly out of tissue when it comes to the physical, and bones, yes or no? So it's made out of tissue and bones. And understand something. The only reason why somebody needs surgery is because they do not understand the art, okay, of loving and caring and nourishing and detoxifying their body. Meanwhile, most of you will go to a medical doctor that has never had any detoxification education, just indoctrination. He has never learned about anything about nutrition. And oh, by the way, what you eat doesn't matter. And you know what? Take a look at the majority of the population, and they've actually proved that. And understand something, when you actually have a 4-inch consciousness, okay, you're going to have 30 feet of hell. And understand something, there's two things that cause, all right, there's two things that actually cause scar tissue in the human body. And that is an inflammatory mind and an inflammatory diet. And the inflammatory mind is much bigger than the diet, because the inflammatory mind is helping to create the inflammatory diet, because you're not making unconditional care and choices for yourself in a higher level. Okay, so I just got off the phone, okay, with a really beautiful lady, and she's had so much surgery, okay, that the surgery is not going to stop, all right? Her body is a mess, okay? So we went from surgery in her cervical spine, which is at the top of your spinal column, to then surgery in her lower spine of her lumbar, and then replacing with a fake disc. And you know what? Did you ever notice something? The more drugs you take, the more surgery you need. Okay, the more surgery you get, the more surgery you need. First of all, let me say this. You know, go ahead, take your drugs. Okay, tell your body to shut up. Cut down and cut off, okay, the gut-brain connection. And the gut-brain connection is you feeling pain because there's inflammation, because there's infection. There is no such thing as an autoimmune disease. There is no such thing as an autoimmune disease, because the human body would never attack itself. The human body attacks the poison that's in the tissue. And understand, it will continue to attack that poison within the tissue until the poison's gone. But meanwhile, detoxification doesn't matter. And understand something. Today, okay, 99.9% of the population has been poisoned, okay, from the bottom up and the inside out. And the reality is this: they are also malnourished. So understand, infection creates inflammation. Inflammation means flame. That's dehydration. You dehydrate any type of muscle tissue, organ tissue, tendon, ligament. Okay, it doesn't matter. Okay, you've got beef jerky. Okay, and what you've got is you've got now all those fibers do not have circulation of blood, of lymph, of electrical conductivity, because they're all jammed up jelly tight till you might feel like you have an actual knot in your neck, a knot in your back, or you have an adhesion in your abdomen, or you have a lesion in your brain. That's right. So understand something. It doesn't matter where it is in the body. It's always just scar tissue. And wherever there's inflammation, there's going to be calcium coming from the bones closest to wherever the inflammation is, because the calcium is going to buffer down the acidity, okay? Because when you become acidic, you lose oxygen. When you lose oxygen, 35% or more, then you go into oxygen deprivation, and everybody says that's mutation and cancer. And I don't believe in cancer, and I don't believe it's mutating. It's just suffocating because there's not enough oxygen, because only one person actually received the Nobel Prize for discovering cancer, and that was Dr. Otto Warburg, and he discovered that 35% less of oxygen in a cell causes suffocation, so that the cell goes into survival mode and says, wow, by the time you have 35% less oxygen in the cell, guess what you got? Your cells are living in a pool of lactic acid, and they go, wow, we can survive off of this. So then they don't just survive, they thrive off of it. And then you think that everything mutates. Well, no. Cancer cells create more lactic acid, which then create more of an acidic area, which is less oxygen in the area. So that's, if you wanted to say that's how cancer spreads. But the reality is the only way that I could ever see cancer spreading is if somebody gets a biopsy, because when you go in and you take a little piece out, okay, and you create all that inflammation and you take a piece out, guess what? You're going to have bleeding. The bleeding is actually the bleeding of toxins into other places of the body. But let me just say this, and then let me get rid of the cancer thing, because you know what? We put way too much emphasis on it. And the reality is it's just stage 4 inflammation, and it's suffocation. And if you understood that it's all about trace minerals, and it's all about bringing your oxygen levels up, which means you'd have to bring your circulation up, which means you'd have to get rid of the scar tissue that was created from the inflammation, that was created from the infection, and that infection, okay, was created by a mind that was on fire with anxiety and stress all the time, because you got to be ready for the next trauma, and then you're making really bad decisions because you're not even eating what we would call food or things that would actually detoxify and nourish you. We're in big trouble. We're in absolutely big trouble. And understand something. I think that they actually hit their goal. They said that minimum they were looking at 1.2 billion people leaving the planet. I think they've reached their goal. And we can't get the awareness, and we can't wake people up fast enough right now. So let me talk about this right now, the domino effect of surgery. First of all, let me talk about this. If you have to go to surgery, you just know that you're going to surgery because of displaced calcium and scar tissue. You do know that we can get all that calcium back in your bones. You do know that we can take that scar tissue and make it into beautiful connective tissue. And I will give you a money-back guarantee on the first treatment with Cellsonic Regeneration, Cardio MedBed, and Wolfe Non-Surgical, that if we don't go past and exceed your expectations, don't pay us. Now you can think, oh my God, that's a really sharp marketing ploy. No, I'm trying to prove to you that you're getting sucker punched along with all your family, all your friends, and the rest of the world. And guess what? Surgery is not the answer, because surgery causes what they call cancer, because surgery causes more inflammation. You can't stab someone and cut things out and not have the worst inflammation in your body. So, and also, you don't need to cut anything out, because anything that you created on a subconscious, unconscious level, believing the so-called practitioners that have your best interest, okay, you can reverse that if you truly not have hope, because hope doesn't float. I hope I get well. I hope this works. No, you have to have faith in the human body, which means you would actually have to know your creator. You would have to know source energy of the universe and know that we were created amazingly and that we can heal from this. I mean, all the way from arthritis, which is just means inflammation in the joint that has scar tissue and displaced calcium. That's all the way to a tumor. That's all a tumor is. And whether you want to believe it or not, even in a tumor, most of the time, the actual so-called mutated cells being under 35% oxygen level, okay, all right, that they have a deficit of 35% more in oxygen, okay, that's only like 3 to 5% of the cells in a tumor. And then knowing that 50% of tumors are filled up with parasites. So everything is vibrational, everything is frequency. And if you knew how to do a perfect day from the moment that you rise until you close your eyes, I'm talking about on an emotional, physical, and a nutritional level. I will be putting my glasses on and off because I'm doing like 3 hours of video today, and in front of blue light, I am not going to destroy my brain or my eyes for anybody. And this is why I wear my Tesla light wear all the time, because I matter. My eyes matter. Okay? So anyways, that's just more blue light inflammation, so that creates more scar tissue formation and even lesions in your brain. That's right, cataracts, glaucoma. Anyways, we're not talking about that today, but guess what? Most people are so asleep that they're gonna reach their goal of the people that they're gonna force to leave this planet. All right, so now let's get back to my little conversation here. So as you can see by bones over here, that, you know, our bodies are made out of tissue. Physically, it's the tissue and the bones. And understand, your tissue is becoming beef jerky. That's right. So when you need to have somebody go and cut, whether it's going to be in your spine or your hip, your liver, your colon, okay, or even the cataract on your eye, that is fibrin. Did you get that? It's fibrin. Now, all of this can be turned around, and it's all about circulation. If you had perfect circulation, you have perfect health. If you had 0.04 volts in all your cells, that's how much electrical conductivity that you need in your cells to be vibrantly healthy. But most people are running about 25% below that. Okay, so they're 25% below that electrical conductivity, and that's when parasites move in, and that's why 99% of the population has halitosis, because they're rotting from their large intestine. They're actually rotting out. And where do you think all the worms are being created? Well, in the large intestine. And because most people have leaky gut, which is called large intestine, those parasites, that fungus, that bad bacteria, and those small little fecal microscopic fecal waste is all going into your pelvis, which is going into your bloodstream. Why do you think we have so much kidney problems? I mean, the kidneys are turning into beef jerky. The liver's turning into beef jerky. It doesn't matter where you're talking, whether you're talking an organ or you're talking a joint. Your body, if it's inflamed, the tissue becomes dehydrated. And then guess what? Your body actually sends even more fibrin, which is scar tissue, to the area to wall off that low vibrational tissue, because the parasites want to move into it, and it also wants to create a wall so that the inflammation and infection does not spread. You give me a person that's ready for surgery, and I will tell you right now, I truly believe that only 5% of those that actually go for surgery ever had to go for surgery. The other 95%, if they wanted to take massive personal action. And whether you want to believe this or not, it doesn't matter, but all the screws, the plates, the mesh, the valves, okay, the fake knee, the fake hip, okay, all of these things they want to put into us. You have to understand, they poisoned us emotionally, nutritionally, okay, all right, did they or didn't they? And they did, and they're doing it on purpose. And the reality is that, guess what? The more infection you have, the more inflammation you have, the more inflammation, the more pain you have. I can't take the pain, I can't take the pain. So then you take their drugs, that cuts off the actual signal that you're in trouble. Understand something. Pain is a GPS from God telling you you're out of alignment, and you haven't learned how to love and honor and respect, okay, those 50 trillion cells, that 500 trillion bacteria that make up 85% of your immune system, which live in your large intestine, that you treat like crap because you think it's a garbage can. And that's the truth. I don't know. You know, I talk strongly because I'm really trying to wake people up and tell you that you deserve a better life, that you can be healthy all your life, that you don't have to have a cane, you don't have to have a walker, you don't have to have a wheelchair, you don't have to be on drugs, and you don't have to go to the hospital and then eventually go to hospice. And understand something, that surgery you got or that accident that you had, let me explain something. It's going to put you in the nursing home. I will never be in a nursing home, and you'll never see me sick. Do I get tired? Yes. Sometimes I overwork. But the reality is this, you'll never see me sick, because I could not love myself that little to create sickness. Because the best thing that you can do to honor our God the Father, okay, the source creator, okay, is to honor the vehicle you have. And I don't care. There's a lot of people that are very religious, but if you take a look at them, they're not honoring the vehicle they have, are they? Okay? So understand something, okay? The greatest respect that you'll ever show that which created you is to love, honor, and respect your body. But people don't even know how to do it. It's not because they don't want to do it. They've never been taught how to do it, because the majority of practitioners don't talk like I talk. They don't teach like I teach. And I'm not telling you I'm better. I'm just saying I'm different. And if you listen to me, an 8-year-old can understand me, okay? That inflammation causes dehydration. That would be a fire in flame, right? And dehydration makes things tougher. So you don't have the elasticity, you don't have the circulation, and you feel like you're going to snap. Hey, Grandpa, what's wrong with you? Well, there's nothing wrong with him. He's just a piece of beef jerky now. And he could be turned around as well, too. Anybody could be turned around, but listen to me. There is an entity on this planet, and that entity controls all billionaires, and all billionaires control all governments. End of story, okay? And governments try to control us, yes or no? And understand something, the government doesn't do anything good for us. And you're going to find they're going to do the odd thing to just keep you hopeful, but guess what? Hope don't float. So I'm going to be back, I'm going to be coming on here in a few days, and I'm going to be showing you, I'm going to do a two-parter with somebody that's had about 5 surgeries, and she has so much scar tissue that, guess what I told her? I got to be honest with you. So she's going to go and see Dr. Sage Wolfe in Stewart, Florida. That's where he is right now. And she's going to go get a treatment. I said, you are going to go there and get cell-sonic regeneration and Wolfe Non-Surgical, and you're going to go, oh my God, this is great. Oh, wow, this is what I was looking for. And I said, call me, because she's going to come on in just 4 days, and we're going to do a double hitter in one day to show you the whole domino effect of how she went from vitally healthy to being totally crippled and feeling like her life is going to be over, and we're going to change that really fast. Now, she says, so tell me the truth, Dr. Wolfe. And I said, well, I'm always going to tell you the truth. I am not going to do anything but the reality is even when I wasn't telling the truth when I was younger, I only knew the truth as I knew it. And I didn't know the truth. When you get somebody that's had like 5 surgeries on their body, or they've had one surgery that's so traumatic that creates so much inflammation and they had to cut so much out, the more trauma, the more drama, the more scar tissue and displaced calcium happens from that surgery. Surgery causes more surgery. Surgery causes people to be crippled. Whether or not you get into a sports injury or you get into a car accident, and surgery is the worst one, but all 3 of those, okay, you need Wolfe Non-Surgical after you've healed, because the body is going to send the amount of calcium from your bones and the amount of scar tissue to the area depending on the trauma. Okay, now the physical trauma, how deep the knife goes, how aggressive the surgeon is, how traumatic the car accident was, or the sports injury, or how dramatic things are. I mean, the more you lose it, the more anxiety you have, the more you're like, ah! Okay, the more adrenaline you're going to drop, cortisol you're going to drop, which is so acidic, and it says, oh my God, we've got an emergency, okay? Then guess what? You're going to have more inflammation, you're going to have more calcification, more scar tissue formation. All we have to do, if we could just learn to stay calm and understand, most people are never going to do it. I know I'm off track a little bit, but I'm going to tell you something. This next 3 years, COVID was an hors d'oeuvre. And understand something, every day, you know what? I do my gratitudes. I thank the Creator for everything. And I've learned, It's not meditation I need. It's a walking meditation I need, because it's just everywhere. You know, if somebody's not screaming on the phone at me or crying on the phone or totally desperate on the phone. I mean, I have at least a half a dozen of these a day now. I used to get one a month, okay, before COVID, maybe one every 2 weeks. Now it's just continual. And understand, I understand. I have empathy. But I'm trying to tell you right now that we need to learn a walking meditation where we are going to connect to our breath 4 seconds in, 6 seconds out on a continual basis. And where we have a slight smile all day, no matter what's going on. Because if you do that, you're not going to make dumb decisions. They want to get you to react and attack. React and attack. And that's all that it's about. And every time you do that, you're creating more scar tissue and more displaced calcium in your body. I'm telling you right now, I don't care if it's bunion, that's calcification and scar tissue. I don't care that if you have an ankle problem because you sprained it when you were younger and you still have the problem and it's 50 years later, it's scar tissue and calcification. I don't care that the doctor says you're bone on bone in your knee and you need surgery because he doesn't know what he's talking about. Because the reality is you can replace the synovial fluid in the knee. And even if you only had 10% cartilage left, it'll grow back. And you can get the calcium back into the bones. So I don't really care what they say when it's not true. It's not me being cocky. Let me see them come on my show. Let me see the greatest surgeon of all time come on my show and tell me that I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm a fearmonger, and I'm out for everybody's money. Understand, the things that I can teach you with clapping and doing external and internal therapies just yourself at home, you could be saving your bacon. But most people won't do that because you can't take the pain, so you want the drugs. You just want the pain to go away. You want immediate gratification. And understand, and you know what? This isn't your fault. You were set up. And understand, so were the medical doctors. They were set up too. They are not my enemy. But the medical doctors are not in health, okay? They're into the chop shop and drug dealing. Yeah, that's it. That's all. Okay, drugs don't heal. And cutting out organs is not great, okay? The woman I'm going to be interviewing, first of all, she had bowel problems when she was an infant. By the time she was 28, she got her appendix cut out. And trust me, it was downhill from there. And understand, we're told our appendix doesn't matter, our gallbladder doesn't matter, our tonsils don't matter. They matter. They matter. Like you don't believe. Get your gallbladder cut out, and now you can look at what? A 400% increase in bowel cancer. And just so you know, 50 years ago, bowel cancer was number 27. It's now number 2. And that's because people are rotting out. And you know what? Rafa, let's play our video, Pooping in the Pelvis. The song, do you have it? You need to get it from Drake. Anyways, I made up a song, Pooping in the Pelvis. And understand something. If you never pooped in your pelvis, you wouldn't have most of these problems. And it's glyphosate, it's antibiotics, it's every drug you take. It's all the chemicals you put into your body that you don't even know you're doing. But the reality is this, just know this, that 99% of the population is rotting out in their large intestine. The large intestine is the holy grail. You could have saved all this if Mother would have just taught you potty training 101. You should go and watch bhnapp.com. Go and watch How to Become Number 1 at the Art of Number 2. Go watch Spoiled Rotten. Go watch the Holy Grail, your large intestine, and your digestive tract, the highway to health. Okay? Go do that. And then tell me I don't know what I'm talking about. And I really would love to see, and it's not to come after each other, but I would love to have a physician or somebody come on and debate me on what I'm talking about, because I think that would really be important. Why don't we do that? Okay? You know, I always get these TV stations like NBC, CBC wanting me to come on their show so they can just slice and dice me. But at least if these physicians or anybody else wants to come on my show, I'm not going to try to slice and dice. We'll have a professional, logical conversation, and I would like them to try to dismantle the things I've told you today. Because why don't we just do it? Because what if we were all ruled screwed? What if we were all ruled and screwed? Okay? What if we were? What if we should? Why don't we come together as a Braveheart family? You know that the same creator that created me created you. And you know that I'm going to continually teach unconditional love and care for myself and for everybody else, because they wanted to separate us through religion, through language, through race, through all the different opinions. I mean, most of you are going, you either already go, oh, his beliefs match mine, so I'll like him, or his beliefs don't match mine, so I won't like him, because you don't know that your subconscious never works for you, okay, until you have programs in it that work for you on an unconditional love and caring basis. And the majority of the population are never going to ever buy into that, okay? But the reality is this, everyone. Know this much. After the surgery, you may not have any pain. I pray that you don't. But you're also going to be numbed out from the calcification and the scar tissue formation. Okay, you're going to be numbed out in that area. And it's actually going to throw you out of balance. And you might have had hip surgery, okay, on your right hip, but then you're going to find out that your left knee blows out, or that your left ankle blows out, or your right ankle blows out. Understand, you can't do surgery someplace in the body and not get rid of the scar tissue. And understand, if you can find somebody else to do it a different way, please go. I just gave you the greatest tip in the world. If you had an accident and you didn't get surgery, you're going to have scar tissue and calcification. You need to get that calcification back into the bones, and you need to get rid of the scar tissue. If you have surgery, then you have so much scar tissue and calcification that even if you don't have any pain, guess what? You will get your cane, and then you'll get your walker, and then you'll get your wheelchair, and then you'll get your Depends, because you rotted out and you can't even hold your urine anymore. You can't even hold your poo. So that's why they have a whole row of Depends in Costco. And understand this, everyone. Guess what? You don't matter. You need to get that into your head. You don't matter until you matter to you. You don't matter until you have unconditional love and care for yourself, because everybody in your family, guess what? They don't matter to themselves because they don't know how to matter. And so they can only give what they got. You know, people will say to me, my doctor, he disrespected me, or this. People don't disrespect you. They just have beliefs that are dishonoring. That's all. I mean, even your family members, you know, I will not be disrespected. You know what? The reality is a person that disrespects himself without knowing it is going to disrespect everybody else. Okay? Or people that have really, really messed up beliefs. See, I got to tell you something. The more I learn, the more I observe and I don't judge. The more I observe, the more I know I need to have unconditional love for that person. It doesn't mean it's my job to change the person, whether it's a family or a friend, or it's not my job to change anyone. My job is to actually hold the line for myself and know that every moment and every eternal moment, I don't call it the present or the past or the future, because none of that really matters. Because if you were to look after the eternal moment, because you can't measure a moment, but if you were to look after the eternal moment and have a slight smile on your face, connect to the lion heart breath, and actually look for everything from food to practitioners to people to habits on a high vibrational level, you would never be in any mess. Understand, human beings are really advanced spirit beings that are being numbed out and dumbed down, because everything, absolutely everything, is only for two reasons: to depopulate and to head everyone towards artificial intelligence until we are not even cyborgs anymore. And the reality is whether you want to believe this or not, this, you know, so you have to understand the entity on this planet has planned it all out for thousands of years. You know, we can't even as human beings create a perfect day on an emotional, nutritional, and physical level. But this entity is so patient that it says this will take 100 years, this will take 250 years, and it's already strategized everything. And it says, if the herd runs this way, we'll push them off the cliff over here. If they run this way, we'll push them off the cliff over there. So just know this. And I'd love a surgeon to come on and challenge me, because somebody should shut my mouth. But 95 to 98% of all surgery do not have to be done. Okay? All right? And the reality is God gave you the greatest gift called pain when you're out of alignment with your true spirit. But you want to tell your spirit to shut up. And that's what drugs do. That's what alcohol does. That's what any drugs do. Is just what it does, it blocks the spirit from coming in to you. And that's the whole deal. And whether you know it or not, the medical system, the whole medical system, there's beautiful people working in it, but they don't know that they're all working for this entity to dehumanize the planet. So do you go to a natural health practitioner? Does he give you a money-back guarantee on your consultation? Does he give you a money-back guarantee on your body work? Does he give you a money-back guarantee on the cell sonic regeneration, on the advanced energy medicine? You know, the reality is if you've got perfect circulation, you got perfect health. If you've got 0.04 volts in your cells, then guess what? You don't have heavy metals. You don't have parasites. You don't have fungus. And the reality is stop running to your own rescue and running to everyone to rescue you. Learn how to create a perfect day. I challenge everybody watching this show today to download the pdgfree.com. And then I want you to read it and look at it. And then if you really want to become smarter than the practitioner you go to, then go to bhnapp.com and go into the Evolve Masterclass section and watch all the masterclasses and tell me that I don't know what I'm talking about. And then also, while you're doing this, ask yourself if an 8-year-old can understand everything I've done. An 8-year-old can understand everything that I've done, okay? And understand that because they're logical. They're not adulterated yet. And adulterated means the older you get, the harder it is for you to change because you've been running these beliefs, programs longer, stronger, they're deeper in you, okay? So it's really like crazy when somebody says to me, well, if he doesn't change, I'm going to leave him. Are you like psycho? You know, first of all, he doesn't know that the subconscious is 90% of his brain and that the strongest beliefs are going to be protected by the subconscious, even if it's killing you and him. And the reality is that nobody even knows that. People have not even went to kindergarten emotionally yet. Okay? Well, the reason why they've got a chokehold on us and they can send us to the chop shop, taking pieces of our body out when we don't need to, and where we'll actually take toxic drugs, which all prescription drugs are, and even over the counter are toxic to the human body. We'll take them because we are so emotionally crippled. And that is it. If you're emotionally crippled, you're screwed. You are screwed. And that's the reality. So why don't you take a look today on how you react to things. See if you can stay calm. Let's see if the thing that pisses you off the most, that gets you so angry that you can just connect to your breath and keep a slight smile and at least do the lion heart breath 4 seconds in, 6 seconds out, 3 times. 3 times, and then tell me that you are going to do the same response as you would have if you wouldn't have taken that 20 seconds to realign yourself before you decide to break something, a relationship or something else. You know, I'm not sure where we're going, but I'm telling, these are the most exciting times, and these are sometimes the most worst times. But that depends on the person. And that depends on their belief systems, because understand something, you can get 2 people from the same family. One wants to kill themselves and the other one is totally successful. So unless you really want to go in and reprogram yourself and believe that 98% of surgery is a hoax, and if you also want to believe you understand the only reason why they can sell you a drug is because your body already makes it in a natural hormone or chemical. That if you didn't have receptors already for it, they wouldn't be able to make the prescription drug to actually sell it to you to poison you. So the reality is, you can either buy into my BS, unconditional love and care for yourself, or you can start off with a limp. Oh my God. How many people are out there limping down the street? We can get rid of every bloody limp. Now understand, the limp could come back if we don't get rid of the limp in the subconscious, which is a belief, because understand, the invisible creates the physical. The psychological rules the biological. So understand, you got that cane, you got that walker, you got that wheelchair, and you are in bed right now because of the programs that you don't even know that you're running. Listen, at BHN University, I believe that we have the most powerful, emotional, nutritional, physical course called Whole Life Health Certified that will blow any practitioner away. I don't care if you've been a practitioner for 20, 30, 40 years, or you're a housewife, or you want to come and you want to learn because you want to heal yourself and your family. Understand something. We bring the thunder down, and this is for everyone. You know, I've taught even children at 12 years old. They've come to this course. Understand something. And you should see the faces of the health professionals that are in the room, and then there's a 12-year-old there. Well, understand something. Guess what? Everybody deserves to be free from the invisible slavery, okay, of the subconscious mind. Everybody deserves to have unconditional love and care for themselves. And if a practitioner actually taught this and then gave a money-back guarantee for their body work, then I would tell you that they're a real practitioner. Until then, I can tell you that they've been ruled, schooled, and fooled, and they're running a superficial treatment center. Because treatments are not way to go. You can treat people, but you got to train them. If you don't train them, then guess what? You are keeping them disempowered. And that's the whole reality of this. It's a good thing I love what I do, because the reality is it would be a lot easier to be something that the majority of the population has already bought into, right? I'm the quack, I'm crazy, all right? And the reality is I don't know a lot of practitioners that talk like me. It would be a lot easier, and I would attract a lot more people if it was about money. It can no longer be about money. Oh yeah, we have to charge enough to keep open and pay my staff, but it can't be about money anymore. I mean, my God, are we vibrating that low? Okay, how could we even keep doing the same therapies, okay, and doing the same thing and getting the same terrible, dehumanizing results and still moving forward? Well, that's because you believe that maybe you're a sinner, or maybe that suffering is the way to the Lord, or maybe you just need to struggle all your life because you're just, I don't know, maybe you're cursed. I don't really get it, okay? But I will tell you this much. I'm not going to buy into any more of the fairy tales that I've been told since I was born onto this planet. I'm going to make up my own. I'm going to make up my own story, my own glory story, that's what created the universe, has always loved me beyond love, beyond love, beyond love. And understand something right now. You're worth it, but you don't matter until you totally matter to you. You don't matter to anybody else unless that person already has unconditional love and care for themselves. Don't think that they have it for you. Understand something. Yes, people do pay to come to us, but guess what? I go in with unconditional love and care, like I told this beautiful lady that will be coming on the show, and I'll do a two-parter. First, I'm going to go through her whole surgery case history, which is mind-blowing. Like, holy crap. It's like she went to the Boston Butcher a million times here. And then you got to ask yourself why she would keep doing it. Why? Because she's running a subconscious program she doesn't even realize. And I told her, she goes, well, well, I'm going to go see Dr. Sage Wolfe and get some treatment and da-da-da. And I go, yeah, but we went through your case history, love, and you're going to need 20 hours minimum of Wolfe Non-Surgical. You're going to need about 10 hours of cell sonic regeneration. You're going to need about 20 hours of cardio med bed. And then I'm going to let you use all of our energy medicine that we have. And then I'm going to teach you different exercises. And then we're going to put you on a high vibrational diet. Okay? Then you can have your life back. Or you can come and get treatments, and we'll just keep on going and putting and shutting that alarm down. Then we'll shut this alarm down. And we'll shut that alarm down. You can't have 7 major surgeries in your body and not think that you are a scar tissue issue. And just know this, tying knots everywhere in your body, what does that do to you? I'm telling you right now, I am a unique teacher. I have no ego, but I figured it out. I figured it out. I figured it out. And the reality is I'm not going to have people come to me and not tell them the truth that they need to do this much if they really want to thrive and have their life back. If you want to just dim down the pain, oh, that's easy. Anybody could do that. And if you want to keep on coming for treatments, or do you want to come for treatments, unravel the scar tissue calcification issue and become your own practitioner and create a perfect day, you'll never need me again. And understand, the money that you're going to spend in getting your weekly, bi-weekly treatments and the suffering you're going to endure, unless you're going to take massive personal action, create a template strategy, and then go for it. I mean, I don't care how chronic the person is. It only takes a few days with us, okay, when people come to our DOD 5-star here in Ixtopasy, Watanejo, and we're opening up another one in St. Cloud, Florida on Jim Gale's property. So that'll be in the new year. It only takes a few days. We're not asking for weeks. We're not asking for months. And in most cases, you'll see changes by the 3rd day. And I'm talking about really great positive changes. So understand, the job is to bring the thunder down and flip switch it from hope to faith and going, I got this. And understand, what do you think the beef jerky and the calcification is just going to leave with diet? I mean, you're going to have to fast your butt off and do it forever and a day just to get rid of that stuff. And I'm telling everyone, don't believe me at all. Don't believe me at all. Go do everything else, okay, and then leave us to the last. But guess what? And most people will. Why? Well, because of your value. You'd have to have quite a bit of value to say, I'm going to come for, not that you have to come, but in chronic conditions, I have to come for a month, and I've got to totally focus on me, loving care for me. Let me tell you something. At the end of the day, you can always pay it off, whatever you create. And if, what's more important, okay? It's your health, getting your life back. And the reality is this, but you have to be worth it. How many people are actually worth it? I mean, I know so many people that they will give up their life for their family, but they'll hardly do anything for themselves. And that's because we were programmed. The minute we got into the womb, all the way to the tomb, to have very little value. And let me tell you, I'm going to leave this with you, and you're not going to like it. People are sick because they have sick beliefs, and they don't even know it. People have poverty, and they'll have it all their life because they have poverty beliefs. Okay? Understand something. You are what you are because of the programs that you run in your subconscious, which is only a computer. So whatever program I throw into the computer is going to play, but you don't observe what you're playing, and you can't even see the programs you're playing. What do you think, your personality was God-given? It was man-driven. Okay? No. You are not that weak. You are not that angry. You are not stupid. You were created by God Almighty. And let's act like it. 3, 2, 1. We got this. You have a beautiful day, and God bless everyone.